Yes, that's a Grogu doll. It's actually a gift for a friend who he's going to Galaxy's Edge. We're all going to hang out with him at Galaxy's Edge. Adam, the Renaissance nerd, he has to fulfill a promise that he made to his chat and make a fool of himself walking around Disney Star Wars with this toy on his chest, like he's carrying baby Grogu. It's going to be a fun day of humiliation for Adam. So I encourage you, if you want, go watch his channel, Adam the Renaissance Nerd. We're going to start live streaming, I believe, around 2 o'clock on his channel. Should be funny and embarrassing for him. But the fact is, he hasn't seen the movie yet. He's going that day after torturing himself at Star Wars. He's going to do more torture. I, however, have seen it. And I saw it in a theater. I did not see it on a ship, as some people might. And I have to say this, I have to give a compliment. Those theater seats were extremely comfortable. So comfortable that I almost fell asleep at least 6 times during the movie because the movie is dull. It is very apparent that, and even though Jon Favreau denies it, it is very apparent that they took whatever plan they had for season 4 and made it into this movie. You can literally feel the beats where an episode would end. This movie's over 2 hours long. It's like 2:15 minutes. I'm sorry, 2 hours, 15 minutes. And you can almost feel like at that 25 to 30 minute mark when it might end, because that's really how long those episodes are after they take out the 10 minutes of credits. You can feel it. So that's why I say I really feel like that was the movie. Just extended scenes from television show. It starts out with Mando and Grogu acting as bounty hunters for the New Republic, because that's what you do with your little baby. You take him out on dangerous missions, let him hang onto your back, get shot at with only his tiny little piece of armor. Yeah, that makes sense. Father of the Year. If there is Child Protective Services in the New Republic, they technically go after Mando. Anyway, they go to this planet to capture an Imperial warlord, because that's what the New Republic is doing. They're trying to capture these warlords, bring them in for questioning, and charge them or something. The warlord here is, doing a shakedown on the local villagers, like, I protect you, blah, blah, blah. You give me nothing. I want more money, because he's a horrible, terrible warlord. It's very tropey and obvious. And that's when Mando shows up and just starts shooting everything. There's no indication of how he got there or anything, just there. And I imagine a lot of people like, yes, he's here. The Mandalorian's here. And he just shows up and starts blasting everything. There's no context to it or anything. He just shows up and blasts away. There's no subtlety, no indication he's even thought about it. He shows up, blasts everything, like I say, and walks away with no problems. He's being shot at. And of course, the Beskar is going to protect him, but he's not all Beskar. There's seams in the armor. But these stormtroopers can't shoot for shit. I guess we're keeping that tradition up. It's almost like he's being shot at like Superman. He's like the Superman DeLorean. No problem. Plot armor, Beskar armor, super armor. And there's, an really extended combat sequence. These combat sequences are overly long, unnecessarily long. I think they do it because there's no story to be told. Really, they're just trying to fill it all. Eventually, he catches up with the Imperial by literally taking a small little, I don't know what it's called. It's like one of the small AT-AT versions, not an ATST. I think someone said ATRT. It's one that looks like riding a horse. He takes it down a mountain. Not kidding. He literally takes it down a mountain. And then takes on 3 AT-ATs and takes them all out. He literally takes out 3 AT-ATs. The rebels on Hoth couldn't do it at all. Luke got one, but he just takes them out all on his own. It's incredible because he's, super Mandalorian. Rather than bring the Imperial in, he kills them because he's just, murking everyone left and right. He returns to the New Republic base where he meets Colonel Ward, who's played by Sigourney Weaver, who I can only imagine was told by Jon Favreau, don't play this character with any emotion or any personality. Just read lines, don't act, because that's what it is. She's in charge. She's giving Mando assignment. She's upset that, you killed them. We need him for information on the Empire. They want to find someone known as Commander Coin. He's rebuilding power, apparently, making alliances. And they need to bring him in. But to get leads on where Commander Coin is, because no one knows who he is or what he looks like, he has to go to the Hutt twins, Jabba's brother and sister, who've taken over since, Jabba was killed. I think we met them in the Boba Fett show. So he goes to Nal Hutta, meets up with the Hutt twins, who say, "We want you to find our nephew, rescue him. He's on the planet Shikari, and he's being held prisoner. Bring him home, and then we'll give you the information." They don't want him home to rescue. They want to eliminate him because he's a potential heir to Jabba's power base, and they need him gone. So we go to Shikari, which is kind of like a cyberpunk planet, in my opinion. A lot of neon and everything. It's weird. Honestly, they show up, and there's this music that doesn't seem to fit in Star Wars. It's kind of like neon cyberpunk music. Very electric, electronic, that sort of thing. It's weird. It doesn't fit. So he goes there. He gets some information from Martin Scorsese playing a weird four-armed alien. I think Martin Scorsese is the only one in this movie that actually acts. He does a decent job voice acting. No one else does. Mando finds out that Rhoda is actually a well-known gladiator here, basically like an MMA fighter who's been contracted by the local crime lord named Janu. So he wants to go buy out his contract so he doesn't have to fight anymore. Turns out it's going to be his last fight, and Janu actually plans to kill Rhoda. So he's made all the money off him, and he's not going to give him his freedom. He's going to put him in a death match. He explains this to Mando, which is really strange. He tries to get Mando on his side. First off, he tries to recruit him, say, "Hey, why don't you come be one of my gladiators?" Then he says, "Oh, kind of what I do is I use up their contracts and then kill them." That's not smart, crime lord. So Mando's like, I gotta bust out this kid because I have emotions. Apparently, he doesn't. You remember how he acts? They've not expanded his role at all. He goes to talk to Rada, and I'm gonna talk like Mando.
"Rada the Hutt, you are in danger. He plans to kill you. You will not get your freedom. You must come with me. If you want to live, I will break you out."
It's that much emotion. It literally is. Rada is actually voiced by Jeremy Allen White. I like him on The Bear. He's on The Bear. Yeah, he's on The Bear. Rada doesn't want to go with Mando because he wants, to be his own man. He literally says, "I want to be my own man. I don't want to be known as Jabba's son." It's also weird hearing a Hutt say, "I want to be my own man." Shouldn't he say, "I want to be my own Hutt"? Point. I don't know. Anyway, he doesn't want to leave, so he calls for the guards, and they gas Mando, knock him out. And, of course, he has to fight Mando in the ring, in the gladiator ring. Ultimately, what happens is Mando gets the best and decides to yield, meaning that Rada wins. He's now free, but Janu's not going to let him do that. So he engages the Dejarik match, which is Dejarik is the chess game that we saw in the first Star Wars movie. And all the creatures from there basically come out, all these weird monster creatures. And now it's up to Mando and Rada to fight their way out through this mess of monsters.
"Rada, the only way to get out of this now is to fight together. Let's team up."
It's basically that emotional. Seriously, he's so flat and lacking any personality. Throughout this, also, Grogu's been captured, so he's up in the little cage watching all this. Mando and Rada, of course, win. He decides to take Rada back to the Hutts, even though Rada's like, "They're just going to kill me." So he takes him back, and while they're flying back, Rada says, "Hey, did you know that Janu is actually Commander Coin, the guy you're looking for?" That's not surprising. So it's that was the end of the episode, the fight. Now the new episode is let's go get Coin, which they do. They go to his little, basically beach estate, which is, full of all sorts of stormtroopers and everything. And he takes out all the stormtroopers. Zeb, remember Zeb from Star Wars Rebels? If you didn't watch Star Wars Rebels, and you're not going to know who the hell Zeb is, it's just some weird looking creature. It was actually based on the original design by Ralph McQuarrie for what Chewbacca was supposed to look like. They capture Janu. They don't bring Rada back to the Hutts. They go back to the Rebel base, New Republic base, turn over Commander Coin, and you can tell that Sigourney Weaver is, of course, extremely excited about this with her flat affect. No one's trying to act in this. Well, I guess Jeremy Allen White was trying to act a little bit, trying to emote a little. So he's done his job. Mando's done the job. He's turned over Commander Coin, and he tells Sigourney Weaver, "Hey, those Hutts were going to double cross you. They were going to tell you the information, then kill Rada and take money from Coin after they tell Coin the rebels are coming." Because that's what Hutts are. Hutts are dirty, scummy people. That's it. Another one done. Episode. So the next episode in the movie begins, which is basically Mando and Grogu hanging out at their house, fixing up his new Razor Crest. He gets kidnapped by, who's this dude's name? Embo. He was a character that I guess was first seen in Clone Wars. Filoni's dipping in, pulling out all of his characters so they can use them here. Embo takes Mando captive to bring him back to the Hutts because the Hutts, of course, are pissed. You double crossed me, so now we're gonna kill you. Basically, is what they say. Now, the encounter with the Hutts is the rare time we actually get to see Pedro Pascal without the helmet. So this may be the time he was actually on set. We all know that it's a lot of voice acting from Pedro Pascal. That's pretty much very well known at this point. So now he's there without his helmet. So I guess he fulfills his contract of appearing, on screen for like 5 or 6 minutes as himself. He's dropped into a pit because all Hutts apparently have a pit under their throne room where they keep deadly monsters to kill people. First, he's attacked by these weird creatures, like weird eel creatures. I think they're called, I had to find it. They're called carcadones. Carcadones? I don't. Carcharodones? All right. They're weird, like eel creatures that have like, a cobra head on them with flat face, cobra head. He fights them off, kills them all. But the real problem is the giant dragon snake, which is a white snake. It's a huge white snake. So Pedro fights a white snake. I'm certain this is awful for Pedro. Now, he's there without Grogu because Grogu got left behind. They didn't capture Grogu. So Grogu teams up with those little cutesy, weird Babu Frick people. The hell they called Anzellans. They fly to save Mando. And that's where we get some of the puppet show in this. It's them walking through the swamps and forests of Nal Hutta to rescue Mando. They actually do. He gets away because Grogu sneaks into the palace with the Babu Freaks and plants a detonator on the grate. There's like a cage grate where he's fighting the creature in the water and everything under the throne room. So that opens up and they all rush out. And it's important to know that while he's fighting the white snake, he got poisoned by white snake. Poisoned white snake. Oh my goodness, I'm realizing like 80s hair bands. They escape into the woods. Mando realizes, I'm going to die, but he wants Grogu saved. They go to their ship that they came in, and of course, they're Anzellans, so the ship is literally like 5 or 6 feet long. There's no way he's fitting into it. They fly off. Mando goes off to die, but Grogu, of course, doesn't leave. He's not going to leave his dad. So now basically, Mando's just lying on the floor of the forest for the next 20 or 30 minutes, I think. Which is then 20 and 30 minutes of the Grogu show, which if you're 4 or 5 years old, I guess you're going to enjoy, but this is kind of tedious, annoying. And Grogu, uses some force powers to heal him. He's still poisoned, though. Ultimately, he finds some dude just living in the forest, some weird little creature. No, not that little, but he reminds me of like someone living in the bayou, like in Louisiana. He's cooking fish and he figures out what's going on. So the guy gives him some sort of poultice or something to cure Mando. He does. Dad's all better now. So now it's time to go on a full assault and take out the Hutts because they saw his face and apparently, when you see the face, he has to kill them now, I guess. That was said. So he attacks the palace. And as we see, he's Superman Mandalorian, takes out some giant mech droids, takes out all the other droids. All the droids are like old separatist droids from the Clone Wars. Yeah, that's what we got. It's very exciting, drawn out fight. Can you tell when I say exciting? I'm being sarcastic. He ends up fighting Embo, whatever. Rada's there. The Hutts actually captured him, so Grogu frees Rada, and Rada goes and fights his aunt and uncle. And we get this weird little, looks like Hutt sex, the way they fight. It's like snakes wrapping around each other. It's kind of weird. Never really thought that see that. I don't need Hutts like being that mobile, personally. Doesn't seem to fit. Ultimately, like I say, he defeats them. The Hutts fall into the pit and get eaten by the white snake. Embo and he's got this weird ass dog that escape as well. And now Mando and Rada and Grogu have to escape. Turns out the Anzellans went and told the New Republic what was going on. So now the New Republic shows up with a bunch of X-Wings, because we need to remind you, again, at this point, this is a Star Wars movie, and X-Wings mean Star Wars. They take out all of the palace defenses really simply. I mean, it's very simple. And then they just take out the palace. It explodes just as Rada, Mando, and Grogu escape. So that's it. We're all happy. Rada decides he's going to join the New Republic. And then Mando and Grogu go back to their home, with Grogu allowing to, fly the ship into hyperspace. And then that's the movie. That's it. 2 hours and 15 minutes. And like I said, I felt like I was going to fall asleep sometimes. It was really uncomfortable. The other interesting thing was, I know there were some parts that were supposed to be played for laughs. No one in the theater was laughing. There was not much response to anything. It's odd. It wasn't, of course, it wasn't a filled theater, but some people would have had a response. You would think nothing. I was, like I said, bored throughout most of it. This is very much a paint by the numbers script. It's unimpressive acting. The CGI does not hold up. Some of it looks really bad. I mean, you get some of the previews, like when the AT-AT falls over, it looks bad. It doesn't look any better on the big screen. They didn't clean it up. They didn't do anything to it. And too much Baby Yoda. I'm sorry. You're trying to sell this on Baby Yoda? We're done. Grogu's no longer a thing. You missed your merch chance, guys. You missed your merch. It's done. So I know on the opening day, the preview day, it made $12 million, which was less than what Solo made. My understanding now, Sunday morning, as I'm recording this, it's tracking towards 81 or 82 million domestic for the entire weekend, which is also less than the Solo movie. So this is an attempt, I guess, by Disney Star Wars to, restart, because they haven't had a movie in a long time. But this is a clear misfire. This is a clear waste of time. Don't bother going to the theater for this. Just wait for it to come out on D+, which they say will be 90 days, I think. I think they're going to give it a full run this time. We'll see what happens. But any of those shills out there who are convinced like this is a $1 billion movie, hope you didn't place any money on that. Otherwise, yeah, that's it for Mango and Grok. I still love that Critical Drinker calls them that. Not worth the time or effort to go see it. And if you do want to see it, wait for it to be at home. You can clearly pause when you're done with whatever episode is in the movie. Questions, comments, witticisms down below. Click all the good buttons. See you guys next time.